This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Broadcasting live from the basement of Building H on the campus of Nassau Community College. It is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Welcome. How are you? All of that good stuff. It's Liam, Flynn with Zach Spring, Joshua Umahi, Devin O'Shea, and Ross Levine. You can call us up, 516-572-7440 to join the conversation. Going to be talking Knicks, Nets, Super Bowl preview, an abbreviated version of that. We'll save it for the Football Friday edition of WHPC Sports Talk. But for now, gentlemen, how's it going? How are we doing on this Wednesday, February 7th, 2024?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Why is that?
Okay, first of all, I have a popped blood vessel in my eye. So, vision is not great. Second of all, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart both got hurt last night.
Yeah. Are you mad about anything else, Zach?
Yeah, Dolan, but that's like a whole nother issue.
All right, we can maybe get to that later. James Dolan, the fearless leader of the Knicks and Rangers, the owner. And he's making some questionable decisions regarding the Rangers' future. We'll get
he just
to that.
cares about money for himself, like whatever makes him the most money.
Well, that's what businessmen are usually focused on, to be fair.
They could win the cup this year, though, so like why not go after it?
Yeah, but he can make more money, so why not make more money?
Mm-hmm. James Questionable Decisions Dolan. If you actually look on his birth certificate, that's what it says in his middle name. Just fun fact.
I was thinking of something else, something we're not allowed to say on air.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know.
James should have known Dolan.
There is another part.
Well,
there's another part. But
no means no.
Yes, James. No means no. But also, what Liam's talking about is a little hyphen. We can't say that hyphenated part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to, unfortunately.
People can give educated guesses, though.
Right.
I feel like what I said is pretty...
what all y'all said is pretty good.
Yeah, no means no, Dolan.
Yeah.
No does mean no, and usually you learn that in school, but I guess Mr. Dolan was absent that day. I don't know. I think it's just common sense, but nonetheless, 516-572-7440. On a night that was supposed to be a celebration of Mike Breen and Walt Clyde Frazier, 25 years together on Knicks broadcasts, it slowly but surely got out of hand towards the end, and now the news that Josh Hart, who finished the game, and Jalen Brunson, who was taken out in the fourth quarter, both dealing with injuries. Josh Hart a knee, Jalen Brunson an ankle. Now the good news first, no noticeable limp coming out of the locker room for either player, according to SNY's Ian Begley. But the bad news... Are these guys going to play again before the All-Star break?
I don't think so. I don't think either of them play again. Actually, never mind. I'm going to take that back.
Already?
Brunson will play, and Hart will play. Never mind. You know, I was going to be Debbie Downer, Mr. Negative today, but no, we're going to be positive because all we could be is positive.
He's got to compete in the three-point contest.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll do that.
I
think he's lucky Tibbs isn't coaching the All-Star game because he'd be starting playing 48 minutes.
Are you really concerned about the three-point contest?
No, but he just wants to do that. I just know it.
You don't say you're going to do it and then, like, the small ankle injury.
If you get hurt,
it's not worth it.
Like,
let the brother play. Let DiVincenzo go in there. He's been shooting the lights out of the ball.
Yeah, why not? In his past 5 games or so, he's shooting over 40% from beyond the arch. He had he's averaging 28 points in his last 5 games, little over 4 assists, and about 40 minutes per game. He had 32 last night, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in 40 minutes played. So he's gotten the brunt of the work after Brunson's gone down over the past, I don't know, the last 6 minutes or so of the game. When did Brunson go out of there?
I think there was like 5.5 minutes left, 6 minutes left.
Yeah, and funny enough, Tibbs did put Brunson back in when the Knicks were up 20. And then he got hurt when they were only down 10, or they only up 10.
Yeah.
So the Grizzlies remarkably cut into the lead. They cut the lead in half.
Yeah.
When Brunson came back in. So, I mean, you heard Tibbs after the game, and we all know the debate with Tibbs, and, he's the Grim Reaper of minutes and injuries, late game injuries with heavy minutes. We saw, obviously, the infamous one is Derrick Rose.
Julius Randle, you could say that. And then now Brunson. But Tibbs, you know what he's going to say in the press conference, and he said exactly what we thought. You got to close the game or respect your opponent, blah, 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 blah. That's why Brunson had to come back in, and then he got hurt. I don't know. As far as him playing, the original question, as far as him playing again, Jalen Brunson, before the All-Star break, I mean, you look at the Knicks' next 4 games. It's all playoff or play-in opponents. That's the tough part about it. You got the Mavs coming in tomorrow night. Then you got the Pacers again Saturday night. You got the Rockets. You got to go to Houston. And the Rockets gave us a tough game a couple weeks ago. And then a team we've really struggled with, for some reason, the Orlando Magic. Yeah, it could get very, very ugly very fast. I need it to be the All-Star break literally tomorrow.
Those are 4 tough games. Like, if we missing Jalen Brunson for all 4?
Luka's giving us 60 tomorrow night.
The way he's going?
Yeah.
The next 2 games being an MSG for the Mavs and Pacers game is good, and going against the Rockets in Houston, it's going to be up in the air because obviously they're a much better team at home than they are away. So it's going to be key to see how well they can do in the next few games, as they did drop from 3 to 4 in the last few days since
we're back
the
up
Lakers.
To 3 now.
No, down to 4 now. The Bucks are down to 3. The Cavs are up to 2.
I thought
now.
we were tied.
Well, we're tied for third.
Yeah, the Bucks lost.
Yes, tied with third. But
now let me ask you a question real quick, because I'm a big proponent of, when you're up that late in the game, keep the guys out. Why does it keep happening that the Knicks find themselves back into games where they really shouldn't be?
They have no depth.
Their bench is not good without Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
If Brunson's not out there, they're in big trouble. And if he's out for a few games, I don't see a win. I don't.
I'm going to be honest, Ross. You're 100% right. If you look at the starting lineup, if say Hart and Brunson miss the next game, they're going out there. Their backcourt, Malachi Flynn and Deuce McBride.
Good luck.
DiVincenzo at the 3. Precious and Hardenstein in the front court. But that's terrible.
Now, you got to hope that at least one of Anunoby or Grimes is going to be back tomorrow night. That would help.
I don't think Anunoby's going to be back until after the All-Star break. And they said Grimes is already. He's rolled out already for tomorrow.
Anunoby, they seem like they're going to be cautious.
Both of them are not going to play till after the All-Star break.
I do like that. But just in terms of, and your question, Liam, like, why does this keep happening? Number one is the depth, because you had a 3-man bench last night of Deuce McBride, Malachi Flynn.
He barely played, too.
And the corpse of Taj Gibson.
Yeah. Taj Gibson had 13 minutes. Malachi had 12.
By the way, if Hart can't go tomorrow, Taj is getting at least 25 minutes, which is terrible.
Absolutely.
Pray for that, man.
Yeah, I don't know how his knees are going to be able to hold up, honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah, if Brunson and Hart out tomorrow, you can, like you said, obviously Taj Gibson, Malachi Flynn.
Luka?
Both having 20, 25 minutes a game. Like, you got Miles McBride going up against Luka
Precious will probably guard him, but it's terrible.
It's tough. And the other answer to Liam's original question, why does this keep happening? It's just the evolution of the game now, where if you can shoot threes just for a 5-minute stretch of the game, if you could shoot threes good, like the Memphis Grizzlies, once you get them down 20, and they were down 30 in the first half, I'm thinking, all the slander Ryan Arcidiacono's getting, he might actually score a point in this game if the Knicks keep it this way, but it wasn't to be. But you just let up, and then it's not even on the court. You mentioned, Liam, Walt Clyde Frazier and Mike Breen celebrating 25 years. It got to a point where they stopped paying attention to the game. They're just podcasting pretty much in the second half.
Well, they're talking to Bill Bradley.
Yeah, right before halftime. And it was hysterical because the half ended probably like 90 seconds before, and they were still just talking.
Yeah, exactly. And then it carried over into the second half, and then it was great. Like, I was entertained until you look up at the score. It's like, oh, it's a 10-point game.
I loved what Brunson and Josh Hart did pregame. I almost started crying.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie.
Speaking of Brunson and Hart, they awarded Clyde and Mike Breen jerseys commemorating their 25th anniversary together, signed by the entire team. Question also about Brunson and Hart. Does the podcast come out on time now?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. They pre-record those things. Yeah.
It's already been recorded. It was recorded this past weekend.
So they're not going to talk about the injuries, huh?
No.
No, that would be fun, though. By the way, that's great
podcast marketing, like promo stuff.
They both get hurt the day before their podcast drops.
That, and I wasn't even talking about that, but that's a good point. It's that, and then why not gift Mike Breen and Clyde Frazier signed jerseys before the game? Get some buzz, honor a legend, then get some buzz for yourself.
Well, I gave him a shout out. He was like, I heard something about roommates, and Mike Breen explained to him what was actually happening, which was pretty funny. But he gave him a shout out.
Hey, I bet you saw Ben Stiller commenting on the post.
Yeah, and Josh Hart was like, "You'll be here. You'll be a guest soon."
Oh,
I love that Ben Stiller is such a huge Knicks fan. Yo. I just be tweeting with him like it's nothing. He's a man of the people for real.
At Ben Stiller, what you doing right now?
At Ben Stiller. I seen you courtside. How that Brunson ankle turn look. He'll answer you too.
Ugly. Oh,
I gotta try that.
That looks bad. That ankle.
No, Liam, he'll answer you.
Well,
he will answer you.
The good thing is that Jalen Brunson, again, according to Ian Begley, there was no noticeable limp, and he also apparently avoided a quote severe ankle sprain, which is good. But now,
hallelujah,
going down the stretch, I mean, towards the All-Star break, like Zach said, he wishes that it would be tomorrow, and I think a lot of Knicks fans are in that same boat. 516-572-7440 if you want to give your thoughts. Talking Luka Doncic, too. 35 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists last night in Brooklyn. Kyrie returned to the Barclays Center. 36 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals.
Liam, did you see that putback slam?
Yeah.
Nasty. He definitely got drug tested after that game. There's no way.
Where was this Kyrie?
He just didn't like
on
New
the
York.
Nets. Well, he said before the game he feels like he's home now.
Yeah,
feels like he's back home.
And Liam, I don't know if you saw the video, but a fan was heckling him on courtside.
He said, "Blame Eric Adams."
Yeah, a fan was like, "Yo, like, why? Where was this in Brooklyn?" Exactly what you just said, and he was like, "Well, blame Mayor Adams for that."
What does Mayor Adams have to do? Because
it was the vaccine.
But he had plenty of time after that vaccine thing. He had the season last year.
But did he really play that much? Not really.
But why didn't he play?
Well,
because he's a cancer in every locker room he enters.
He posted a little link to an Amazon.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
That's the thing with Kyrie. It was always something you lost track.
So what does that have? Yeah, exactly. You can't keep up with it. How is that Eric Adams' fault?
Because Kyrie will never put the blame on himself, and he'll only put the blame on someone else.
Did you see him and Cam Thomas embrace after the game? It looked like Cam Thomas shed a tear. I don't know if
Cam loves him.
I don't know if it was sweat but it looked like a teardrop. And they were saying it was like these two grew a very close bond while they were together in Brooklyn. But I mean, Cam Thomas, a guy who's really struggling to find a spot in that starting five, even though it seems like, I mean, he had a game last night, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. You know, every now and then he just drops 40. And it looks like he just rolled out of bed. I really don't know what's going on. I was a huge fan of Jacques Vaughn in the beginning of the season. Then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's the front office. Now I'm just like,
it's him.
Yeah,
he's horrible.
You need to blow it up.
I'd genuinely rather have Darvin Ham as my coach, and that says something.
Blow it up. Didn't they already blow it up?
Darvin, I can't draw a play.
No. Here's the thing: they haven't blown it up because
they got rid of their whole three.
Mikal Bridges is still there. What are you going to do for the deadline?
That's not. He cannot be part of it.
I think what Ross is trying to say is that it's.
Am I missing something?
No, it's a hilarious part. It's a hilarious story of a franchise that just blew it up last year, and they so doo-doo again, and things.
Yeah, they're like blow it up, and they haven't got pieces to blow it up.
They're so catastrophic again. It's like they have to blow it up again. But I'm seeing reports, and this is the wildest. This is the wildest trade deadline I've ever seen because
it's so quiet.
You have reports that say, "Yo, we're not expecting much movement," and then I'm looking at this report. I'm staring it dead in the face right now. Word is bond. It's saying that teams like the Chicago Bulls, the goal is to stay competitive this season.
What?
They're in 9th place, 10th place.
Golden State, I understand because it's like
yeah, you got Hall of Famers.
Yeah, no, but Chicago's a joke. If they don't trade DeRozan, that is literally the biggest joke of a franchise ever.
And it's the same thing with Brooklyn.
It said today Bulls would have to be blown away to be able to trade Alex Caruso.
Yeah, they said that they want the same package that the Knicks got for OG.
That's the thing. Like all
you need
these
2
teams.
starting ready players and a pick. That's terrible.
I blame the Rudy Gobert trade from a couple years ago.
Ruined the market.
because now every GM is like, yo, if I don't pull off a heist, I'm not dealing.
Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks.
Rudy Gobert has just time and time again
just ruined basketball.
I know he shut the NBA down in 2020, and now he's just revamped the market to the place that no moves really have been made. I mean, there's some movement today. There's been a couple of moves made, including former Knick Kevin Knox.
Yes.
What's going on with him? Well, he's just getting thrown out.
He'll probably be solid on the Jazz bench. I'm not going to lie.
He's been an okay player for this Pistons team so far this year, so he'll get some good minutes in Utah.
Third straight year Kevin Knox was traded at the trade deadline. 3 straight years.
Everybody.
Hey, listen, he's making history.
Yeah.
We're bad.
First player to ever have a Fortnite suit when drafted. History.
Yeah.
I always knew Kevin Knox would make history in the league when he got drafted by the Knicks. I always knew it.
Yeah,
Not in a good way, but
I knew that as soon as I saw his draft pick and I saw Mikal Bridges go right after, and I was like,
can't forget SGA either.
Yeah, well, SGA was never even in consideration for the Knicks, but
Somehow.
it was Mikal Bridges or Kevin Knox, and they chose the guy with the Fortnite suit. It was never gonna work. Phil Jackson. It was never gonna work.
They gotta interview, because I know they interview these guys leading up to the draft, but day of, you gotta look at what the kid is wearing, and that should be the final thing.
Yeah.
he's like walking up. It's like, what is that kid wearing? What is he wearing?
Is that a default skin doing the dance in his suit? What is he wearing?
We drafted
Somehow
this kid?
this lottery pick is wearing a Fortnite suit. Why did we draft him? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
And somehow this is after the one and done rule. Like, if guys were coming straight out of high school, I get it.
I still don't get it.
You got a year of college under your belt. Like, come on now.
Another reason why these moves are not being made is because the new rules of the NBA implemented this year. So people are really hesitant to get traded because of the fact that if you have a salary over $14 million, you cannot get signed by someone else if you get bought out at the trade deadline. So, like, teams are like, for instance, Kyle Lowry, like, he can't go to a playoff team. He can only go to a lower down team right now. And also with the new salary restriction, there's 5 teams that just cannot.
Boston, Phoenix,
Denver, Golden State, and Milwaukee.
Yes.
Yeah, all are over. So they can't make like any moves unless salaries are perfectly matched. So that's why like barely any moves are being made.
But about the Kyle Lowry thing, the Knicks have a biannual exception, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. And
So
also they're under they're not on that second tier of the salary cap,
Right.
so they can make a signing like that. But those 5 teams that I just named can't do it.
Gotcha.
They need a guard.
Yeah, Lowry I think would be fine. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be happy.
guard
with
help.
Lowry.
Lowry's the guy. Like, here's the thing. Like, the Knicks, everyone's thinking, Brogdon or Murray, especially. They're both Clutch clients, and we know the meeting with Clutch and Leon Rose and everything last week. That's all well and good. But you think about it, I know Bruce Brown is the name most heavily linked. He's not really a scorer.
The Raptors got a first-round pick. Someone offered a first-round pick for him, so they're not going to say no to that.
They're not, but it's also like, I know Masai Ujiri, GM for the Raptors. Shout out Nigeria, by the way, too. But yeah, he likes to. He's one of those guys I talked about before that just, if he's not pulling the fleece, he's not going to do it. He thought he fleeced the Knicks getting quickly and Barrett for Anunoby, but it hasn't worked out that way.
It would be their second trade this season together as a franchises, the Knicks and Raptors, and obviously we saw earlier in the season with the suing and everything like that. So
Yeah.
Give us quickly back.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah,
I would be willing to pay for a first-round pick for quickly.
But
back.
also looking at Kyle Lowry and with the possibility of him going to New York Knicks with the middle-level exception, he also isn't what they need particularly. Yes, they need a guard. They desperately need guard help, but he isn't the offensive guard that they need help with.
He's not a playmaker either.
He's not. He's past these days. They're already second in the league in points allowed per game against their opponents. They are 15th in the league in points per game averaging this year. They need offensive help.
Well, here's
on
the thing.
team.
Here's the thing, because we just talked about Bruce Brown, CAA client Leon Rose, connect the dots there. Kyle Lowry, Villanova guy, and Tibbs loves him.
Tibbs loves anyone who played for Villanova who will play defense.
That's very
literally
true.
all he cares about.
That's very true. But as it comes to Lowry, like, we got to look at the buyout market for the Knicks too. Like, I think guys like maybe Alec Burks if we don't trade for him, Gordon Hayward. Once
He makes too much money for what, like, it's not worth it. $22 million.
I mean, trade for Gordon Hayward.
I'd rather trade for him than him getting bought out and then signed.
Well, if you buy him out though, you can sign him to a veteran.
A minimum.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
even know if he'd take that. I think a team would offer him possibly more than that.
Well, yet to be seen, but
Yeah, but how much more, as Josh's microphone just
I would say
crapped out?
5 to 7 million maybe he can get.
This happened during the morning show.
Thing is, though, they're only paying him for half of the season. So if you look at it like that, he signs for $4 million. Say it's I could see that.
It just depends on what the market and what everybody's going to give. We brought up. No, I'm not hearing you, Josh. As he's trying to test.
I'll figure it out with him.
Oh, there we go. Do we have it? Do we have you, Josh?
No.
No. All right, we're gonna move on from this. I think Andy's in the building, actually. The Golden State Warriors, you guys brought them up before. They are a game and a half out of the play-in in the West, and I'm gonna name a name. And obviously, I don't know what the Warriors' plans are, just in general this season. But Chris Paul, he has another.
Yeah. Why would anyone trade for him?
No, well, here's the thing. I don't think he's done. I think he still has something in the tank. His numbers this season, 8.9 points a game, 7.2 assists, 3.8 rebounds, shooting 42% from the field, 36% from beyond the three-point line. He's not a guy that's going to play 35 minutes, but having him come off the bench, give Brunson a break every now and then, I think it would be a good move.
Yeah,
you could do that with Lowry for way cheaper.
I prefer CP3, and it's funny.
I think Chris Paul still has more left in the tank.
I don't think he is healthy enough to be able to be dealt by Thursday.
So
and also, I don't know if he's going to be able to withstand him and his 40-year-old self be able to withstand the Tibbs minutes.
Well, that's the thing.
He's not, like Liam said, he's not going to play that much.
And Deuce is getting worked right now. Deuce is playing like over 30 minutes a night.
They don't have a choice. They have to.
No, they
wouldn't have
right now. They don't have a choice.
The thing is, they do. They still have guys on the bench. Like I don't know why they don't give like Jacob Toppin a shot to do something.
What are we going to do? Charlie Brown Jr.
Can't be worse than Malachi Flynn. He literally can't be worse.
The bench is like. I think the hot dog guy could come to the bench and they'll do a fine job. Like these guys, they can score more than these bench players.
More than Jacob Toppin?
Yeah, like Malachi Flynn. Like when you know those guys are out there. Like, nothing against those guys, but I mean, come on. Like,
by the way, you brought up Jacob Toppin too.
He's in the dunk contest.
He is in the dunk contest.
This is where I was gonna go because I just saw a post on my X account. I'll try to pull it up. But Jacob Toppin and Jaylen Brown's a name,
Yes.
Mac
McClung.
And Mac
McClung. I mean, he won.
They got 2 G Leaguers in it.
I don't understand. You saw here's it is. Dr. J, believing that the egos of today's NBA superstars are too large for them to compete in a dunk contest. I stand by my take. I think LeBron ruined the dunk contest.
Still waiting, LeBron.
LeCat just tricked us all, and then every other star player that came after him was like, "Oh, LeBron didn't do it.
Did everyone?
Why would I do it?"
Did everyone see LaFoot?
Yeah, we saw the foot.
That was scary.
Back to Chris Paul real quick.
Yeah,
he worked individually after practice yesterday.
He's coming. He's on the mend.
He's been out for 12 games with a left hand fracture. If he comes back by Thursday, it'd be a great addition for
There's no
for
chance
this
he's
Knicks
back by
team.
tomorrow.
He'd be an incredible facilitator.
He doesn't have to be back
No,
to
they
get
just have
traded.
to accept his physical.
No, yeah. He'd be an incredible facilitator on the Knicks right now, as he averages, like you said, 7.2 assists per game this season.
Right.
That it is something that they need, incredibly a lot. Like they are 29th in the league in assists per game, as they only average 24 assists per game. So bringing him in and be able to run this offense would be incredibly great.
Here's why I want that to happen so much too, is because if the plan is to keep Quentin Grimes and keep Deuce McBride and then run the bench of Josh Hart and Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson when he comes back. CP3, I watch a lot of Warriors games. Like, he's a huge reason why Jonathan Kuminga is turning into a superstar. Like, at the start of the season, getting him comfortable, getting him in his spots.
By the way,
that's huge.
Kuminga over 29.5 PRA tonight. Lock. Absolute lock.
Who are you going against tonight?
Zach Springs betting tips.
He scored at least 20, I think, in 4 to 5.
Warriors play the Sixers tonight.
Trade for Klay Thompson.
No!
Dude is washed.
That was received well.
Oh my God! No, Ross.
No.
I'd rather eat your muscles pie.
There's a reason this guy is being benched for the last 7 whole minutes
He's
against
terrible.
the Brooklyn
He doesn't
Nets.
want to be there anymore.
He said after
New York. I don't want him here.
He said after the game, he said it's a mental thing. He's not even blaming the coaches now. He's just saying that he's just terrible himself.
Then if he is admitting that at this point, he is a defeated man, and I want him nowhere near a team that
I'd
should
rather watch
compete
paint
for.
dry than get Klay Thompson.
So you want to watch Evan Fournier play?
Yes, I'd actually rather watch Evan Fournier than Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is terrible. Absolutely horrible. He shot 4 for 19 the other day, 2 for 16 from 3.
What is
You know how
Fournier
bad that
doing?
is? 2 for 16?
I get it, but Fournier, unless he shoots the 3, he's unplayable.
But you play
That's
you play
basically Klay
DiVincenzo over Klay Thompson. DiVincenzo has
He's been going off.
He's run circles around Klay Thompson this season so far.
All right.
Dante DiVincenzo in his last 5 games, 28 points, 4.2 assists in 40 minutes played.
I'm just
Klay Thompson's last 3 games, 14, 10, and 8.
All I'm saying is I'm bringing up he's won championships.
On how many
You can bring
shots,
the history
Devin?
of championships to the
How many
guard.
shots?
Over those
the
games,
experience. Bring the experience. That's what I'm saying.
No, experience means a lot, but when he's sitting on the bench just rotting there, I don't know how much it really means for the team, and you take up a roster spot. But, I mean, the Knicks, they're in need of something.
Yeah, we can't you can't have a bench of G League players. I'm sorry, these are G Leaguers.
Liam, I'm still holding out hope because
Are ya?
the Hawks have listed DeJounte Murray as questionable with a phantom back injury. And
We know this. We knew. So everyone who's
Gonna get traded.
possibly going to get traded is going to be out
Phantom.
tonight just in case they don't get
Phantom.
injured.
right. DeJounte, I know it's tough to take DiVincenzo out the starting lineup right now.
No, you
But
would still start DiVincenzo right now with it. He'd play the 3.
If Brunson's out, I mean that's for Tibbs to figure. I'm not a coach or a GM, but
Let's be honest. This is like the video game deny and coddle. Whenever that's like one of the options. Well, I think with one of the even if you get DeJounte Murray or DiVincenzo right now playing, and he's playing as well as he did, you're basically saying deny and coddle to one of those players.
What video game is that?
That's 2K. I mean, 2K. They have.
Oh, yeah.
You either have like just no, like
Right.
you're not doing this,
Yeah.
or it's yes, you're gonna play. I'm gonna promise you're gonna get more minutes, or it's deny and coddle, and basically you're gonna deny and coddle.
Is this one of the? Is this a newer game?
Lower his morale a little bit.
We have breaking news, or what could be breaking news.
Okay.
Reported from Evan Sidery. Knicks and Pistons have been in active trade discussions for Alec Burks. Deal could be done by tonight.
Is there any
Alec Burks!
information? Any information on what the Knicks are sending, or is that it?
I have no idea.
Well, I am Liam. I am a cap nerd, and I've reviewed all the salaries for the Knicks and the Pistons.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I know that if the Knicks traded the Fournier contract, they could potentially get Burks and a Monte Morris, who's a very quality backup point guard.
I would like Monte Morris.
But here's the thing: the Knicks have put it out there that they want to have a guy come in that's on a 2-year deal. That way,
They have him for next year,
If a star, they have him for next year, and if a star comes available, they can trade that contract in getting that star. So the issue is Burks and Morris are both on 1-year deals. So I don't know if that's the route they want to go.
Bojan Bogdanovic would be the best player for this Knicks team. He's the offensive piece that they are missing, and he will be the replacement of Julius Randle until Randle gets back, and he'll be a prominent piece off offense off the bench during the playoffs. DiVincenzo would
he
save
might
this
even
team.
start. He might start over Josh Hart.
I think.
Well, like what I'm saying, like
At
with,
full
with
health,
this,
obviously,
with
be
this
off
full
the
team
bench,
whole
yes.
healthy, yeah.
Is my mic on? No, mic.
Nah, you're good.
No,
Wait,
it's
is it-
off.
Oh, it actually might be.
Try again, Josh.
Hold on.
Oh, right.
Got me?
No.
No, we don't. We're still dealing with this broken mic. But anyway,
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
It's always when I want to bring up a great point.
All right.
Goes out.
So you got one, Josh?
Yeah, so also the Knicks have trade exceptions for the R.J. Barrett deal and the Obi Toppin deal to Indy. So if they traded like a Malachi Flynn, they could use that $6 million, $7 million exception and fit it in to get Alec Burks, where they don't have to use Fournier's contract. That way Fournier's contract is still in play for that star deal that should be there next summer. So we'll see.
Look at you doing all this research on the salary cap.
Oh, no, it's bad. I'd be on like Fanspo, the trade machine, all day.
I'm on the
not
trade
gonna
machine
lie.
right now.
It wasn't last night. It was the night before. I might have spent like 3 hours in the trade
No,
generator,
it's
just
bad.
like going
It's
through,
addicting.
looking through salaries, seeing who gets traded for who can possibly get moved for who, like what trade restrictions there are. I'm
It's
such
bad.
a nerd with this.
This girl was like, "You ain't hit me back all day." I'm like, "Sorry, I was on the trade
Sorry,
machine."
it's trade deadline.
You got bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. You understand. You get it.
That's all. I get it, indeed. Any final thoughts before
No,
we
but we
move
do
on?
have little Giants news. They're the
Giants?
first team to now have an assistant head coach in the NFL. They moved Mike Kafka. He is now offensive coordinator and assistant head coach. I don't know what is going on there.
Ross, should Brian Daboll count his days?
Yeah, Bill Belichick's gonna be the coach next year. Not
Wow.
this year. Next year.
I do think Dable gets fired by the end of the season.
Yeah,
that
we did
is my
see
prediction.
Steve did just get a job with the
Washington, yeah.
Washington.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Belichick's going to be the Giants coach. 2025, you watch.
All right.
I think at this rate, it looks like they're just going to make Kafka the head coach, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I just know how the Giants work, and they stay from in office most of the time, and Joe Shane has a great connection with them. So if they let Dable go, unfortunately, it'll probably be Mike Kafka.
Hey, Ross, what do you think of Shane Bowen?
Not their first choice, not their second
That wasn't even a
choice.
top 5
Not even their
choice.
third choice. But watch, it may work out.
I think it
because
will.
It'll work out because it's their last choice that they had.
In the last
That's
4
the only way things
seasons,
work out.
Tennessee has allowed the 10th least amount of points in the NFL. So
That's
that's,
not bad.
above average. But
Yeah, they're basically just becoming the New York Titans.
Yeah.
Because the tight ends coach,
Oh,
I
boy.
forget what his name was, but he came from...
He was their O coordinator.
Yeah, so he came from Tennessee. So I don't know, are they trying to model the Titans
Well, they brought
organization?
The thing is, if you do that, you have to bring Saquon back if you're going to do that, because then that's a whole run-heavy
Yep.
offense.
Yep.
and I guess that means Mike Vrabel's the head coach next year.
I would be so
I don't
happy
know.
with that.
I don't know if John Morrow is one of those people that, if you believe the reports, that were intimidated by Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
And
likes
that's
to
why
be
they didn't
able-
get hired.
He likes to be able to tell people what to do, not the coach tell him what to do.
Right.
All right, let's be real. Football is one of those sports where you need an intimidating figure to be a head coach, especially dealing with all the egos that are in the league right now in today's game. But
You're 1,000% right, but these owners are.
No,
we
they're
have the
scared.
most sensitive
Oh,
owners.
Breaking news: Monty Morris traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Wow. So the
Well, there goes
chips,
that.
the chips are falling.
That's a great move from Minnesota. Wow.
Well, that
Shams reported it.
That Knicks rumor lasted for like 2 seconds.
Well, Burks is still on the table.
He's
Welcome
still
back,
in
Alec
there.
Burks. Come through.
I'm trying to figure out what it is. Woj hasn't said anything. It's just been Shams, but
We use the break to figure it out.
Yes, we sure will. We'll be back in less than a minute. It's WHPC Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. All right, so while you figure that out, we're going to hand it over to Zach Spring, who's got your Lions sports update. Zach, take it away.
this is Zach Spring, and it's time for your Lions sports update. The Lady Lions continue their hot streak as they won 85-55 Saturday versus Dutchess Community College. Ayanna Hamilton scored a career-high 43 points, and the Lions held Dutchess to 2 points in the third quarter. The Lions return to action tomorrow when they host number 12 Hostess Community College at 6 p.m. All the action can be heard right here on 90.3 WHPC. To the men's team, they lost to Dutchess on Saturday, 89-72, after only trailing by 1 at halftime. The Lions melted down in the second half, ultimately losing the rebound and turnover battles. Their next game is Friday at Rockland Community College in Suffolk. Let's talk wrestling. Sophomore Christopher Ketchum captured the 157-pound title on Saturday at the Edinburgh Open in Pennsylvania. Ketchum defeated Brock McMillan, an attached wrestler from the University of Pittsburgh, 8-6 by a sudden victory at the 157-pound final. Ketchum claimed a total of 4 wins over Division I level opponents at the event, and sophomore Caleb Peralta Munoz reached the round of 16 in the 133 division, and Gabe Thomason qualified for the round of 32 in the 165 division. And that's it for your Lions sports update here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Well, thank you very much, Zach. Get a round of applause from the other
It's a tongue
people
twister.
in the studio. Yeah, there's a lot of words, and you don't want to spend too much time on it. So
No, I was trying to get through it.
Yeah, right. So you're trying to do all that with the wordiness and the numbers and the names, but no. That was commendable by Zach Spring. Round of applause, everybody.
Respect.
All right, it's Liam Flynn, Zach Spring, Joshua Umahi, Devin O'Shea, and Ross Levine with you till 5. 516-572-7440, the number to call to join the conversation. If you don't want to call us, you can text us. We'd rather you call, but 516-905-WHPC is our text line. We'll read your comments on air. Well, Super Bowl 58. It's this Sunday.
We here.
We outside. Yeah, so it is the Chiefs and the 49ers. They'll be kicking off at 6:30 Eastern time. The line at the moment, San Francisco favored by 1.5 points. And you obviously have Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champion. Ross, you were going to say something.
I was going to say was that whoever put that spread out there must be on serious drugs.
Really, Ross?
Yeah, there's no shot the Niners will win this game.
I agree with that, but at the same time, like, the spread started at 3, and now it's down to 1.5. So clearly, people are buying points like this. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know why it even started there. But like, to me, the Chiefs should have always been kind of favored. But I guess now, with 3 days to go before the Super Bowl, now it's changing, I guess.
Yeah, and by the time we reach kickoff, it'll probably be...
It'll be even.
Just about even. Maybe they might even give a point to the Chiefs, in all honesty.
I think it'll be completely even.
I think it's going to move in that direction. It has been. You obviously have Brock Purdy, a man who was in the MVP talks. We all know it's going to go to Lamar Jackson. Going up against Patrick Mahomes, you've got Christian McCaffrey, CMC, Isaiah Pacheco, who had a really great year, 935 yards on the ground with 7 touchdowns. And you obviously have the skill positions of the 49ers just outweighing whoever the Chiefs have on their roster. However, everybody thinks the Chiefs is going to win. So how much does experience overpower skill? And not only just sports, but in this game in particular.
They both have experience. I'm not even going to use experience as a... Like, it's not. I don't even think it's that much of a factor.
What do you think? What gives the Chiefs the edge over the 49ers? It's not their players.
I don't even know.
I think it has to do with their experience and the fact that they've been there before. I think Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, that brain trust there. Obviously, you have Travis Kelce. They've each won 2 Super Bowls together, trying to make it a third. And the only time they lost in the Super Bowl was to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and he obviously knew that the Chiefs weren't putting their best team out. They didn't have a great line going up against a terrific Buccaneer defense. But I think, obviously, now the Chiefs have a much better defense, one of the best in the NFL by most metrics. And then you have the 49ers who are stacked on defense, and they're also stacked on offense as well. The receiving core is a lot better than the Chiefs. They probably, and I don't think probably, they definitely have a better running back than the Chiefs. So I think the only reason why the Chiefs have some sort of chance in this game is not because of the names on the team. It has to do with how they've been there before.
And Patrick Mahomes.
Well, right. That's the only name, I think, because George Kittle and Travis Kelce, I mean, Kelce's he's on the decline. I think we can all agree he had an off year. Even though he finished with 984 yards
and 5 touchdowns.
Let's hear it.
Kelce's going to be the Klay Thompson in the NBA if he plays 2 more seasons. He's going to be like that level of washed.
Really?
Also got breaking news. More? The college level, though.
Okay.
Nick Saban has signed with ESPN and will be on College Game Day this year.
All right.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we knew that was the direction he was going in. He obviously made a couple of cameos this past season on College Game Day. So we'll see how Nick Saban does as an analyst. But talking NFL, talking the Super Bowl, I mean, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they went from the lovable team that defeated Tom Brady, knocked the Patriots off, and they went from this team, the new dynasty. Everybody's like, bye-bye Tom Brady, bye-bye Patriots. Hello, Chiefs. We'll welcome you with open arms. But they've gone full heel this season with the Taylor Swift stuff, the Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, Kadarius Toney saga. And I think everybody is on the same page when they say, I'm not really a huge fan of the Chiefs. I want the 49ers to win. Let's see what the caller has to say regarding the topic. Caller, you're now live on the air.
What's up, Liam? It's Justin.
Woo! What's up, Justin? It's Liam.
I can't believe you guys are silencing Josh. What's up with that?
Yeah, Josh, is your microphone back? Are we good?
No. No, it's not back.
No, it is not back. This is an extremely unfortunate scene.
Yeah, Justin, you mind maybe? I know Josh has a lot to say. Maybe you could take his place for a little bit.
Well, I did want to, I don't know if you guys, touched upon it because I was getting in my car. I was listening while walking, and you guys were talking about, what is the factor? Why do so many people think that the Chiefs are going to win this game even though they're not favorite? And I think it's simple. I just think it's Patrick Mahomes. I think that is the big factor here. I like Brock Purdy, but he ain't Patrick Mahomes.
Brock Purdy is an overrated bum, and Patrick Mahomes will show why he is the most elite quarterback in the NFL on Sunday.
There you go.
What was that, Devin?
That was me testing the microphone, Liam.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Justin?
Hey!
We're back.
What's up, Justin? My guy.
How are you, Josh?
I am. Whoa.
No! Well, no!
I'm over it.
Now
Why
Daft
don't you
Punk
just
is in the
take
building.
Devin off?
right.
Take Devin off.
Wow.
What did I do?
Yeah, Devin's just. He's
I'm just
here.
trying to help.
It's okay. It's okay. I talk enough on these shows. I think I can take a half hour off. It's all good.
And we still got you right now.
Right. Yeah.
Until.
Right.
Just don't touch anything.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, back to Justin though. You said it has to do with Patrick Mahomes, and I agree. There is obviously a large gap between Mahomes and everybody else, including Brock Purdy. But what does Patrick Mahomes have to do with his receivers catching balls? I just think that something switched once the playoffs started. I don't know what it was. Rashee Rice looked better. MVS looked better. All these guys went from dropping passes to making catches.
Well,
and
you say dropping passes. Did you hear Kadarius Toney the other day?
No, what did he say?
I have something to say about this.
He was when asked if Kadarius Toney is a number one wide receiver, he said, in quote, "Yeah, if I get the ball." End quote. If you catch the ball, Kadarius, catch it.
That was funny. That was funny, Kadarius. No, your serious answer. I would like your actual answer.
Hold on, there's news with receivers for the Chiefs. They just added Sky Moore to the 53-man roster, so he will be back for the Super Bowl.
Wow, okay.
I don't know if Kadarius will be seeing the field.
Yeah, well, I thought... Justin?
I think even looking at, Kelsey, I think you guys, I caught it briefly, but, you mentioned this wasn't really a great year for Kelsey in the regular season, but we've seen what he did last week, in the playoffs. It's just, I think the Chiefs are a team right now that they just have to get into the playoffs. They don't necessarily need to be the number one seed. It's just one of those instances. If they're in, I think they're going to be the ultimate threat in the AFC until teams like Baltimore and Buffalo can prove that they can win. Even with an aging Kelsey, and who knows what happens with Andy Reid, the only deciding factor, I think, is really Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Kansas City. We'll see what Burrow can do, but I really don't see any team in the AFC really being that next to take it from Kansas City.
I think Burrow comes back in a big way, and I think we haven't seen the last of Lamar Jackson either.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, the Texans are coming up. D'Amico Ryan.
A lot of young talent this year.
No, for sure, and I think that... But what it has to do with, the Chiefs can just squeak by in the regular season, get into the playoffs. I think experience has everything to do with that. And you could say, it's Patrick Mahomes, but it's obviously carrying over to Travis Kelce as well, a guy who didn't have a great season. He's in the playoffs, boom. He knows what he has to do. He's been there before, and he's able to handle it compared to some other guys who haven't been there before. I think it's just about how you handle the situation and how you handle what you have in front of you. And the Chiefs are the best at that because they've been there more than anybody.
It's going to come down to a lot. What's up, Justin?
No, go ahead.
No, it's going to come down to a lot of how well Patrick Mahomes can do against the San Francisco defensive backs. Not even just their defense, but their defensive backs, as they are only 14th this year in passing yards allowed per game. That's their worst category on the entire year. And the Chiefs' best category of the entire year so far is their passing. It's over the air, and as they're sixth in the league in passing yards per game at 246. So it's going to come down to how well the defensive backs of San Francisco can go up against Sky Moore and Rashee Rice.
And good for San Francisco, too. There's no Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs anymore.
Yes, they don't have to worry about that.
Do you really trust, though, the Niners defense? I don't. I don't trust it.
No. I don't trust the Niners in general.
They don't. They haven't looked right for the last 2 months.
Also, looking at Chase Young, what he did not last week, but the week before that against the Lions, looking like just a regular defensive end, not trying at all.
Do you think Chase Young's going to start?
I've heard rumors that he's gonna be on the bench for the Super Bowl, and then it's up in the air because obviously Chase Young, Nick Bosa, two of the best D linemen in the entire league, and it's just upsetting seeing Chase Young in a game of that caliber, and he's never been really in that type of game before, being with Washington his whole career. So it's gonna be up in the air to see how the defensive line of San Francisco can be.
Justin, a final thought as your parting gift to us?
I just hope Little John shows up during the halftime show with us here. Yeah! See you later, boys.
Peace out, Dustin.
Have a good day. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for the Nassau Morning Madhouse, 7 to 9.
Always good when Justin calls.
Oh, of course. And he got a little cameo from Lil Jon, too.
Yeah, I did not know Lil Jon was in the car with him.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Shout out Little John. But what do you guys think? Because, and we'll try and move on. We'll try to keep this portion brief. What do we think about this Sunday's Super Bowl matchup? Who's taking it home?
Me.
Oh, Josh, your microphone works.
Yeah,
Woo!
I'll chime in. Yeah, I think, and it's funny, we just got finished laughing at Kadarius Toney for the number one receiver comments. That's ridiculous. We know that. But if you're looking at what has happened to the 49ers defense the last 2 weeks, Aaron Jones getting loose, and then last week, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery like a hot knife through butter, right? So they had a lot of success, the Packers and the Lions, getting on the edges and running the ball that way. So Nick Bosa and Chase Young were really exposed. I mean, great pass rushers, but run stoppers and edge setters, I didn't see great tape in those previous 2 playoff games for the 49ers. So if they can get the ball to, obviously, Isaiah Pacheco is going to go downhill. He's going to always get downhill, go north and south. But if you can get your athletes in space, you can get Rashee Rice around the edges. You can get maybe a Sky Moore, who had a lot of success in last year's Super Bowl, on the edges. Kadarius Toney. Now, he's not a good receiver, but we saw that punt return. We do know he's electric when he gets the ball in his hands.
Can he even catch the punt? I'm curious. I don't know if he can do that anymore. He literally forgot how to play football.
It looks that way now.
If Antonio Brown was bad at football, that's who he is.
Yes.
But listen, this is a crossroads in his career. You can be a 2-time Super Bowl champion, or you can wind up as the co-host of CT ESPN. The choice is yours.
I think that he could be a 2-time Super Bowl champion and still end up as the co-host of CT.
That's very true.
Like, he could be out the league after Sunday.
Let's be real. I don't think he's really going to play a part in the Chiefs winning if they.
I don't think Mahomes likes him, so
you got him on his Instagram live.
Kadarius Toney loves Mahomes, though.
What are they talking about? Oh yeah,
Pat Mahomes.
Who's your favorite player? Pat Mahomes.
No, y'all are 100% right. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be shocked if Andy Reid found a way with what the 49ers defense has lacked on the edges the last 2 weeks. I'm just saying.
Yeah, obviously, the San Francisco's probably not planning for Kadarius Toney, so throwing some loopholes at them, it could be good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Sunday at 6:30, the game will kick off, but we'll have a whole lot more tomorrow on WHPC Sports Talk at 4 o'clock, and we'll have even more on Football Friday at 4 o'clock here on 90.3 WHPC. You excited, Josh?
Pre-Super Bowl Football Friday, it just gives me goosebumps. It just gets me pumped up.
Josh has been prepping since week 1 for this show. So
yes, I have. That's actually a fact.
And if you own a bar, hit us up.
Oh, yeah, that's also a good point. If you or someone you love or know owns a bar, restaurant, somewhere where they wouldn't mind giving us a little corner so we could talk our ish
to make our sports show 2 hours instead of 1 hour.
Yeah, that would.
I'm not going to lie. If I lock down a spot by tomorrow, put me in the WHPC Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I might got some spots for y'all.
You got connections right now?
I gotta do a lot of drinking.
All right.
I'm 27, everyone. I'm 26. Already.
Please let us be here.
Are you 26 or 27?
26. I turned 27 this year.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I'm of age to do some scouting.
I'm pushing 30, damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, that's crazy.
Soon enough, I'm going to have the LeBron graying a salt and pepper.
No, that's a long way away.
I hope so.
Do you know how old Corey David is, Zach?
If I had to guess, is he older than that?
That's my grandpa.
All right, if I had to guess, now that I thought he was younger, now I'm going to say I'm going to say 28.
Close. 29.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say some outlandish number like 36.
He's 54.
That's what he says.
Yeah, you got that fake birth certificate.
Yeah, Corey David's been alive since
Albert Pujols.
Since Bobby Witt has been in the league. And now Bobby Witt's son, just signed
No, that's crazy.
an 11-year, $288 million extension with the Kansas City Royals. First of all, to Bobby Witt Jr., I am so sorry that you have to spend the next 11 years in Kansas City, Missouri.
I'm not. You want to know why?
Well, because you're a Yankee fan, of course. He's away from the Yankees.
Isn't Pat Mahomes an owner of the Royals?
Yeah, he's a minority owner. But
Yeah.
I talk to the Royals broadcaster sometimes. Shout out Jake Eisenberg. But basically, he's saying that Bobby Witt is probably the best guy he's ever spoken to. Like, that's a baseball player. He's the perfect locker room guy. Like, I know you know how bad
I've
the Royals.
spoken to Mickey Mantle. Like,
I wish Mickey Mantle has some. I wish it. From what I've read, unreal stories.
Oh, you've read some of the stories.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that off air.
Yeah. But basically, Bobby Witt's a great guy, and he will be the Royals captain within the next 3 to 4 years. So I understand the signing. He's going to be the franchise guy forever. It makes sense.
I understand it, but you're in Kansas City, Missouri, playing for the Royals. Where's your future?
He's making a culture in Kansas City. He's making something. He's making something out of nothing.
No, he actually is.
He's making something out of nothing. And like we saw last year, his stats: 30 bombs in his second season in the majors. 30 bombs, 49 stolen bases. This kid is going places in this league.
No, he's staying right in Kansas City. Actually, he could have gone somewhere.
Well, he's from Texas, so he's kind of familiar with Missouri's not, Southern culture, but it has some.
So go to Texas. Go to
Astros don't need a shortstop, nor do the Rangers.
When was his contract up?
This is year 2, so he still had 4 years under him.
So 4 years, the Astros might need a guy.
No, they won't.
He was only drafted 5 years ago. So
yeah, 2019 he was drafted.
Yeah,
number 2 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm. How old is he now?
23.
23 years old. Yeah,
so you bring him to 34.
No, and he'll probably still get another good contract at 24.
Yeah, he'll probably get a 3-year contract, maybe 4-year contract.
6-year deal. After what we saw yesterday with Jose Altuve.
Yep. 5 years, $125 million he was extended.
Just ruined the Yankees, because now we will not be able to get Gleyber Torres back. Because Gleyber's a free agent at the end of this season, and he's going to ask for close
Why
to
wouldn't
Altuve
you
money.
want to trade Gleyber, though?
Because I think we can win the World Series this year.
You think because he's so...
No. Everyone's he's so up and down. He's actually, this year, he's probably the most consistent player on the Yankees.
Well, offensively.
Yeah, offensively, but that's what we need.
You were leading off Jake Bowers half the year. There was no consistency with the hitting. And
it was just Judge and Gleyber. That's what it was. But Gleyber, he's also probably my favorite player on the team. So it's
that glove, man.
It's not as bad as people think. At shortstop, it's terrible. At second base, it's really not.
You can hide it in second. You can't hide that arm. And
they have Volpe.
Short.
They don't need.
Oh, Anthony Volpe, 190. Here we go.
He didn't hit 190.
I think he was Gold Glove last year.
Yeah, he was the best defensive shortstop in baseball last season. Most defensive runs saved.
No, that is true, and I think his glove is going to be the main thing that keeps him around. But Anthony Volpe, what was his?
I think breakout season incoming for Volpe.
He was a power hitter last year.
He had a 2020 season, over 20 stolen bases. I think he had 21 home runs.
Yeah, he hit 209 last year.
That's fine. They'll get the average up. They'll get the average up. I'm not worried about that. Judge hit 167.
Seeing that the power is there this early in his career is a bright spot to see in his career.
Yeah, that's huge. And he knows how to play in Yankee Stadium, too, which is massive.
You can hit a pop fly and it'll go out.
Just said Yankee Stadium was massive?
No, I said that's massive. As in, I
was going to say.
No, that he knows how to use the ballpark correctly and hit it to right field.
You can bunt it and it'll go over.
Yeah, basically. Todd Frazier had a swing a couple years ago in the playoffs, and it literally looked like he bunted for a home run.
Before we bounce out of here for today, I want to get to... Rich Cimini published some anonymous evaluations of Zach Wilson's trade value. He asked some people around the league, well, what do you think the Jets can get for Zach Wilson? One anonymous scout said that maybe they could ask for something on day 3, a mid-day 3 if they're lucky. An assistant coach said the only trade value for him is his arm talent, meaning he can make all the throws. But the biggest thing, he has to become more mature and consistent in everything, especially in his decision-making. There were flashes last year, but obviously not enough. And my favorite, in the last one, I'd give up a 2-week stay at a Best Western. I'm not a fan. So there's no trade value for Zach Wilson,
Yikes.
but are you? Is anyone surprised?
4 footballs, take it or leave it.
Well, he's gonna be a free agent at the end of this season coming up. So I don't even know if he gets a second contract in the NFL.
No.
Wong Dong.
Ni hao, ni hao.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to bring us to the end. We finally got to everything.
Woo!
It was one of the first times.
In this last 30 seconds, would you let me go on this Dolan rant quickly?
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not going to let you know when we're done, but I'm just going to play the disclaimer whenever we're ready to go. So let me just close it out real quick. For Ross Levine, Devin O'Shea, Joshua Umahi, this is Liam Flynn. Zach Spring is not done yet. He's got a rant, and we thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk. Go, Zach!
All right, so I'm going to make this quick. So Dolan, big problem. He, as the owner of the Rangers and also the owner of the Las Vegas Sphere, that is where the NHL draft will be this coming up year. Basically, he told the Rangers GM that if he trades the first-round pick, he will be fired because Dolan's like, I need to be able to pick a player in my own building. You know how stupid that is? Like, you have a chance to win the Stanley Cup this year, and this is what you're doing? It's terrible. He's ruining the franchise. He did this to the Knicks. Now he's not even involved with the Knicks. He still owns them, but it's absolutely disgusting. I can't even bear it.
The views expressed on air are not necessarily